lower body session for you today, specifically focusing on the glutes. So it's quite a common thing for people to have weak glutes or glutes that don't fire enough as they maybe should, which can mean that other muscles then compensate to make up for that. It's not too much of a problem, but can cause a few issues and can cause problems further down the line. So these exercises are great just as a standalone little session, just to work on those areas, or if you want to just take little bits of it and use them as like warm-ups and that kind of thing as you do in other stuff, it's a good idea just to help fire up those glutes and get them working. So let's just dive straight in, let's smash it. So we're going to start on our backs today, lying down on our backs. We're just going to dive straight in with just a little bit of movement just to wake up that lower body and the rest of the body. So we're just going to bring our knees together, feet together. I'm just going to drop our knees to one side of the body, keeping both shoulders in connection with the mat, and draw them back up to center. So a nice little twist in the body, little stretch through the body here. You can match that with that breath, so if you want to just start switching onto that breath as well, remember just breathing into the ribs here, feel them expand. Just a little bit of movement to wake up the body. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is thundering outside. Welcome to Queensland. So hopefully it doesn't interrupt us too much. Let's just do 2 more each side. Maybe come a little further into it. Just hug those knees in. I'm just going to circle the knees around, so I'm going to keep the feet together and I'm just going to circle the knees in opposite directions. Just warming up into those hip joints a little bit. Gives you a nice little massage through the back as well, this one. Just a few little circles and then we'll go the other way. A bit. I'm just going to extend one leg away, hugging the other knee in. Again, just stretching into that hip joint a little bit. That knee in as close as you can. And we're going to take it out to the side. So again, keeping shoulders and this opposite hip on the mat if we can. We're just going to take that knee away from us. Stretch, and then bring it back into center, switch to the other side. And then again, just take it out to the side whenever you're ready. Keeping that hip down on the mat. Into center. Coming onto the side, again just to warm up a little bit, we're just going to come into some leg raises. So, propping the head up on the hands, or you can rest down on that arm as always. A little activation in the core, so just think about stabilization in this core here, so just switching onto that a little bit. Point this foot to lift, flex the foot to lower. Like I say, we're still warming up, so just think about easing that range of motion bit by bit. Don't worry too much about how far we get. And keeping this body nice and still, keeping this hip still. So it's not about lifting super high. It's about being nice and strong and stable in that hip. Let's just do 3 more here. Increasing that range of motion a little bit now. just like this, and then we're going to swing this top leg forward. So we're just going to hover it at hip height, a little bit more activation in that core. Swing that leg forward, again, pointing the toe in the first phase, and then we flex the foot and we swing it back. So again, think about this strong position in the body and in the hip. You don't want to be crunching and moving in the hip, in the body, sorry, to try and swing that leg super far forward. Just let it go where it wants to go. Increasing that range of motion bit by bit if we can. Swinging it forward. Swinging it back. Nice work. Let's do 3 more here. Keep drawing that belly button in, staying strong at the core. See if we've got a little bit more range of motion now. Rest it down, give a little tap. So now that this side's warm, we're just going to start working on this side, and then we'll switch to the other side. So, coming on to our hands and knees. Nice and straight in the spine, so nice neutral spine here. Pushing into the floor with the hands a little bit, thinking about those stabilization muscles. So, starting with that leg you just warmed up. We're just going to extend the leg away, and we're going to start. Draw the knee into the chest. We're getting a little crunch into the abdominals here, so we're working the abs a little bit. And then we're going to extend away, glute kick. So in that kick, we're not, again, bending in the spine, activating in that glute, so it's just working those bum muscles. Draw it in, and kick. So we're just starting to activate them now. Believe me, you're going to feel them a whole lot more as we get into it. So nice little kick here. Long in the leg. Little crunch in the abs. 4 more here. Last one. Nice. Keep that leg extended away. Now we're just going to stay with those kicks. We're just going to drop the leg down, kick it up. Keep tight in the core, keep stabilizing. Nice big kick. Hopefully you're feeling that glute switch on now. 4 more here. Keep pushing into the floor with the hands, nice and long in the spine. Rest it down. Little rest if you need it. I'm going to swing this leg to maybe about 45 degrees, or if you can manage a little bit closer to 90, whatever's best for you. But remember, we're not twisting in that body. We're kicking from here. Focus on those stabilization muscles still. The glutes are made of 3 separate muscles, primarily. So you want to focus on those different ones. So you might feel this in just a slightly different area, maybe more on those outer muscles. 4 more. Relax it down, bring that leg back. Last one here. I'm going to do a little cross and a kick. So again, focusing on those stabilization muscles still, but there is going to be a bit more movement, so that's fine. We'll cross the knee over to the other side, kick it out. Now you're going to feel this in this stabilizing leg here as well. Cross, kick, big kick. Nice guys, 4 more. Last two. Last one. Bring it down. Take a little stretch off in child's pose before we switch to that other side. When you're ready, coming on to that other side. So just swinging it around, so we'll just wake up that hip joint a little bit. I know we've used that glute a little bit, so you should feel a little bit of action there, but let's wake it up a little bit more. So starting with those leg raises, you just point your toe to lift, flex the foot to lower, switching onto those arms. Here we go. Remember, just increasing that range of motion bit by bit. Keep drawing that belly button in. Four more here. Last one. And then we're going to come into those leg swings. So just rest that leg down. And that bottom leg bent in front. Hover that top leg. Point the toe. Swing it forward. Flex the foot. Swing it back. A little bit more activation in the core there. Just making sure that we're keeping this hip nice and strong and stable. Guys, you can swing a little bit further. Four more here. Two more. And last one. Down, give it a little tap, getting ready to switch onto the hands and knees. So like before, finding that nice neutral posture in the spine, switching onto those stabilization muscles in the core and the pelvic floor, pushing into the floor with the hands. Extend that leg away, draw that knee in, extend and kick. I haven't got enough space. Draw the knee in, kick. Staying with that breath as well, remember? So we can breathe in and exhale to lift. A little crunching should just help you find those abs as well as we move and stabilize. Four more here. Two more. Last one. Keep that leg extended, drop the toe down, and just stay with that kick. Keep those abs tight. Keep pushing into the floor with the hands, try and keep that spine nice and long. Four more. Nice, guys. And then swing that leg around 45 degrees or a little bit further if you can, if you want to. And then kick. So again, you should just feel that glute working on the outside on this leg. But again, this stabilizing leg as well. Drawing those abs in, 4 more. Nice, bring that leg back. Get ready for that little crossing kick, so we cross it over. Here's where the body might move just a little bit. Kick. Draw those abs in, still stabilizing. Cross. Kick. 4 more. Be aggressive with that kick. Last one. And bring it down. Little stretch off. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to transition into a lunge. So, onto your hands and knees. Just bring, I don't mind which leg you go on. One leg forward. Then we're just going to sit up into that lunge. Tuck the toes behind us. And then lift to that high lunge. Just adjust yourself as you need to. Find yourself nice and strong and balanced here. Draw the belly button in. Grounding down into the floor. We're just going to drop that knee down and then lift back up, focusing on the glute. So we drop it down and up. So you might feel some other leg muscles kicking in here, but because we've switched on those glutes, you should feel them firing now. So really focus on just squeezing the bum. Just actively think about squeezing that bum, working from there. This one's a good one too, if you can lift this back leg up, so like raise it up a little bit by putting it on a step, or elevating it up on the couch, anything like that. Even a few cushions if you've got them. Just moving slow. And also don't worry if that knee doesn't get all the way down. Just go to wherever's comfortable for you. And you should be feeling it in this bent leg here. Keep drawing that belly button in. 4 more on this side. Don't rush it. Last one. Nice, and just push off that back foot. Bring it to meet the front. Give it a little wiggle in the middle. And then we'll come onto the other side, so just step back with that other leg. Whenever you're ready. Find that nice strong position, grounding down, drawing in at the belly. Find that balance, and then when you're ready, drop it down, and then lift. Stay with it, guys. Stay strong. Just a little twitch down as well. Don't stay down there too long. 4 more. Last one. Nice. And we're going to come down to the mat, so you can just drop that knee down, pop the hands down. Step that foot back, coming back into that sideline position, coming into our clams. So, sideline position, knees bent in front. Just starting with our basic clam to begin with, so feet together, and we're going to lift in this top leg. So same thing again, stabilizing here, keeping this hip nice and still, so we don't want any rocking in the body. Draw that belly button in, and lift. So again, we're focusing on this glute. Lifting and lowering. Again, as you warm up as well, you might be able to lift just that little bit higher, but actively think about those glutes. Just think about working from there. Keep lifting. more here, then we're going to switch it up. Let's do 4 more. Last one. I'm just going to add a little bit onto it. So the next one, we're going to lift, join at the abs a little bit more. From the knee, extend, back and down. So it's not a big high kick, we're just extending from the knee. Yeah. Still trying to lift as high as we can. Just going to need that little extra activation in the core as we extend that a little bit further away. Can you feel that? I can feel it. 4 more. Got a little shake on the go. It's going to get better. 2 more. Last one. Leave that leg there. And lift and lower. Flex the foot. So it should be at about a 45-degree angle. Nice, guys. Stay with it, keep drawing in. 4 more. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Oh, that is nice. Give it a little tap. Extend those legs away. One more on this side. This one's a little bit more about mobility in the hip. Tiny little movement. So super still in the body. All we're going to do, keeping this leg nice and long, I'm going to drop the toe down to the mat and then a little curve over, drop the heel down. So again, we're not moving backwards and forwards, we're not all the way up here. It's just a tiny little movement just across that leg, a little arc. And what we're thinking about is that leg. So really just visualize that leg just twisting in that hip joint. So we're just rolling through. Might feel just some weird little things going on there. Might just feel a few little bits firing and switching on that maybe don't usually. Just a few more here. Let's do 3 more each way. Then we'll come on to the other side. And rest it down, give it a little tap. Coming all the way onto the other side. Take a little hug in if you need to. A little circle around maybe. Ease off those muscles a little bit, keep them moving. And then when you're ready, just switching onto the other side, into that clamp. So, sideline position, knees bent in front. Feet together, lifting in that top knee. Draw the belly button in nice and still, making sure that this hip isn't moving. Super important. You might find as well that it feels just a little bit stiff, warmed up on the other side. Now this one will feel a little bit rubbish, but it'll warm up too. Again, visualizing, just focusing on that glute. It's not about a huge range of motion, it's just about feeling that activation. And you're going to feel it. See if we can lift a little bit further now. Four more here. Then we'll add on. That's 2. Last one, and then on the next one, we're going to add on that little extension. So draw that belly button in that little bit more. We're going to lift, extend from the knee, back, and down. Nice, guys. How are those glutes feeling? Feeling good? Feeling strong? Four more here. Keep drawing into the belly. Two more. Keep thinking about that glute. And last one. Leave it out there, flex the foot, lift. Keep breathing, keep drawing in. Four more. Last two. Last one. And down. Woohoo! Last for glutes and you've got glutes. And last one here. Those little toe and heel kisses. So just hover that leg, hip height, drop the toe down, drop the heel down. You might feel a little bit wobbly on this one as well, so just stabilize here. And just think about that little twist, arcing around. Nice, guys. Four more each way. Drawing into the belly. This one. Press it down. Give it a tap. And then we're going to do our last few on our front. So, coming all the way onto our fronts. We're going to start with just some leg lifts here. So again, you might feel some other muscles firing up as we do this, particularly the hamstrings. But now that we're firing the glutes, you should just be able to feel that activating a little bit more. Just think about moving from there all the time. We're going to need that activation in the abs as always and drawing in at the pelvic floor. And we're just going to start on alternating single legs. So just rest that upper body down. Upper body's not doing anything here. Draw the belly button in. Point the toes, lift, slowly lower. Focus on that slow lowering phase as well. As we lift, control it down, yeah? Keep drawing into the belly just so we protect that lower back. Obviously you might get a nice big curve in that back, so we just need to protect it. And again, don't worry about how high you lift that leg, just feel that activation. As you build that strength, you'll be able to lift it a little bit higher. Nice, guys, two more each way. And we're going to take it into a double. So both legs together. Draw the belly button in, point the toes, lift, slowly lower it down. Try not to grip too much in the upper body. Try and let that relax. I know it's hard. It will grip a little bit. Control it down. Keep drawing in at the belly. Four more. into a frog-like position. So feet together, knees apart. Same movement, just lifting in the legs. This one I always feel a little extra glute activation. I think it just takes a little bit of that activation off the hamstring, so it really just focuses on the glutes. So we lift, and then slowly lower. Same again. Focus on that slow lower. Big squeeze up. Slowly down. Something I meant to mention as well, if you've got a little resistance band, such a good idea to use that. Just wrap it around the legs. And you can do most of the exercises that we've done today with that extra resistance, and you'll just feel that extra activation. Really, really spicy. 4 more. Last 2. And last one. And relax it down. Nice. The last 2 that I'm going to do are a little bit more full body, or it's kind of working like a lot of the posterior muscles. But I want you to feel that difference. There might be things that you've done with me before. So I want you to feel it now that your glutes are engaged, knowing the part that they play in those exercises, if that makes sense, and just kind of adding it in, showing you how that glute work kind of adds in to other things as well. So we're going to come into darts, and we're going to do our full dart. We're just going to dive straight into full dart. So we start just in the same position that we were before, so head relaxed down, but this time our arms are going to be by our side. Legs together, point the toes. I'm going to take a big breath in, drawing in the abs. On the exhale, we're going to reach up, shoulder blades come back and down, so roll those shoulder blades back. We're going to lift in the upper body and lift in the legs, and we're going to reach for those toes, lifting up in that body, and then slowly come down. Remember, nice and long in the neck, tucking in the chin, looking down to the mat, and then slowly come down. And what you might find, in comparison to when we just do our dart on the upper body, is that you might be able to lift a little bit higher, because you've got that full activation at the back, yeah? Just big breath. Exhale, roll it down, reach for the feet, lift, squeeze in the glutes. Again, focus on the glutes. Activating the abs. I want you to focus on shoulder blades squeezing together, abs firing, glutes firing. Nice, guys. See if we can lift just a little bit higher each time. 4 more. Keep that neck nice and long. Remember, we're not looking up, we're not tucking it down too far. It's just an extension of the spine. 4 more. 3. Slowly down. Last 2. And last one. Take a little rest off. 1 more to do. Again, it's just adding those glutes into another little exercise, and I just love this one, it's a bit of fun. So I want you to feel the part that the glutes and the abs play in this one. It's a bit of a tricky one. If you're new to it, just give it a whirl. So we're going to come, arms are going to come, hands are going to come underneath the shoulders. I'm going to roll those shoulder blades back, and I'm going to lift up. So I'm coming into like a little cobra pose here. That cobra can be as big or as small as you want it to be. I'm going to draw the belly button in. So I'm active in the tummy. I'm going to squeeze my bum here, pointing in the toes. So my whole body, my whole posterior, my whole front is switching on, yeah? And it's like like a banana. Think about a banana shape. So I'm going to let go of my hands. My body's going to rock forward and then I'm going to catch. It's going to look like this. And then up. So notice how as I lift, my legs, my whole body stays in that same position. So it's about maintaining that position. Tighten the core, tighten the glutes. Yeah? So come into that cobra. So focus on that swing of the legs as we come down. And up. Catch it up. Don't worry, you're not going to fall on your face, I promise. And the trick is not to get to the bottom and relax. Yeah, don't let those glutes switch off as we get like halfway down. They need to stay on to get that momentum to come back. Let's give it a whirl. Big breath in. Tighten up everywhere. Big squeeze and let go. Catch. Have we got it? Nice guys, I'm just going to do 4 more. Practice for longer if you want to. I think I'm rocking all the way out the door. Lost count. I'll do 1 more. And then push those hips back all the way to child's pose. Woo! Nice guys, so hopefully you've had a nice little workout on those glutes and you might just feel that those back muscles have switched on a little bit there, so just stretch them off now. And we'll finish up with just some nice little glute stretches. We'll do a nice straightforward one first. So normally you can do this lying on your back, but we're going to just do it seated just for a little variation. It's up to you which way you do it. So we're just going to bring one foot onto the opposite knee, like this. So we're thinking about drawing this foot nice and close to the body and this knee away. We're just going to use the hands to walk ourselves forward. So you can do this lying on the back, obviously, but you might feel that you can get into it a bit better this way. You might feel like you can get into it a bit better on the floor. I don't mind which way you do it. Nice stretch. So keep drawing that knee away. And again, you can just hold any of these stretches a little bit longer if you want to. Coming onto the other side. One foot to the leg. Draw that knee away and just walk yourself closer if you can. This next one actually isn't for the glutes, it's for but it's for the quads. So we did do a little bit of work on the other muscles of the legs as well. So it's a nice idea just to stretch them all out. You do this as a single leg or as a double. And what we're going to do is bend this leg in front of you. So you just want to draw the lower part of the leg to the side. And then we're just going to ease the body back. Again, if it's not comfortable for you, you can just do a different variation of a quad stretch. You can maybe lie on your front and grab your leg behind. Otherwise, we're just going to ease the body back and come down onto the elbows. You should just feel a little stretch here. And it's sometimes almost actively think about pushing that hip forward, and it just creates a pull there. Or if we want to, we can come all the way down onto our backs. And you're just getting a lovely little quad stretch. I often struggle stretching my quads, so if you do like a regular quad stretch and you feel like it doesn't quite get it, this one just always seems to work for me, especially if I actively think about pushing that hip up. It's nice. And like I say, you can do a double leg if you want to. Like I say, just stay there a bit longer if you want to. I'm going to come out of it. So just ease myself back onto my elbows. If you don't want to lie all the way down, just get to 2. looks harder than it is. Back. Ease your body down. Take a nice deep breaths, just let yourself relax into those stretches. And then back up with the elbows. And then all the way up. Extend up by the way. Give your legs all the way up. Coming onto your knees. Now I'm not going to lie to you, this one is pretty gross. But it's good. It's gross because it's good. So we're going to take the knees nice and wide. So we're in a similar position to when we do child's pose, but this time your ankles are going to be in line with your knees. So just try and widen those legs as much as you can, and then we're just going to ease the hips back. And this stretches a teeny little muscle called the piriformis, nice and deep in those hips. And it's an area that we often don't quite target, so that's why it's pretty gross. And you can come down onto those elbows. Now, if you feel like you're not in that stretch enough and it doesn't feel that gross, you can just bring those knees a little bit wider, or if you can't quite get your knees wider, you can just bring those feet a little bit further away, so you might be coming slightly wider than your knees, but it might just increase that stretch, or alternatively just draw those hips back a little bit more. Just breathe into it. You do relax into it a little bit, I promise. Deep breaths. Stay with it. I know it's not nice. The hardest part about this one's actually getting out of it at the end. So, easing yourself out of it. I find it's easier to go forward. So if you just move your body forward, and then when you're there, you can just bring those knees back. Oh, did you enjoy that one? Again, staying a bit longer. For that one particularly might be a good idea, just to let yourself ease into it. Last one, shoelace. So we're going to bring one knee bent in front, and the other one we're going to stack on top of it. So we're trying to get our knees one on top of the other, and then drawing those feet nice and close. If this doesn't quite work for you, you can extend that top leg away, or you can do it in a log position, so you can do it with your legs kind of stacked parallel in front. Otherwise, we're in this position, and again, you might already feel like a little stretch here, and you might just want to ease that knee down a little bit before we move forward. You might just feel a stretch into the glute, and then we're going to draw forward, just bring the chest over the top, and then you feel just a nice pull in that glute there. You should feel that, especially after all that work we've just done. Take some nice deep breaths. Again, this one you can maneuver a little bit as well. It just targets different areas. So if your feet are tight, it'll target one area, and then if you want to just take your feet slightly wider, it might increase it a little bit more for you, or just target that little different area of the glutes. Play around with it. to give us like a little wiggle in the middle, then switching to the other side, so popping that other leg underneath. Top leg comes on top. Just negotiate yourself into that position as you need to. Take a moment to draw that knee down if you want, and then when you're ready, into centre, give your legs a little wiggle, and just come into seated. And as always, I like to finish with some nice big deep breaths, just to bring some calm back into the body, but also for you to thank yourself for the work that you've just done. So taking a nice big deep breath in, and a big exhale, and again. Last one, big breath. Big exhale. And give yourself a clap. Nice work. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again.